Hello there, and I am here today from sunny Avalon, New Jersey, on vacation just for a few days to get away. And I'm actually here in the room because it is too hot for me out there in the sun, and just the heat, the mugginess, it's just not good for me. So I'm going to tell you a little story. When we got here on Monday, today is Wednesday, I was really not feeling it. I was feeling a little down in the dumps. I was feeling like I was never going to get through this, and this was only day one, and something just was not right. Didn't sit well with me. I was on my scooter, my motorized scooter, which is right next to me here in the room, but I really couldn't stand up by myself. I couldn't support myself, so if I would go to sit up, I would fall back down. It was like my whole core was just being beaten up, and I didn't know what was happening to me. I eat right, made sure I had enough protein. I don't really eat wheat. And I didn't know what was happening. So I will say this. I did have a sinus infection before I left, and I was under the care of my ear, nose, and throat doctor, who's fantastic, not his fault. He prescribed me to have an antibiotic. And because I am allergic to penicillin and have a history in my family of it, my son as well, then I had a prescription that was not a penicillin. So it was another derivative, and my son had a reaction to it when he had an infection not too long ago. Never hit me that I would end up with a reaction too. So I was really fatigued, and I just said, you know what, I'm going to stop taking this medicine. I was 8 days in. I was supposed to take it for 10 days, and I looked this morning. I don't know if you could see this, but I have this rash on my arms, and it's all on my back. It doesn't hurt. It's just red dots, kind of like polka dots all over. And it's not catching or anything. It's just a reaction that I had to this medication. So I did stop it yesterday, and I'm feeling a heck of a lot better. I can actually sit up on my own. I can walk with my crutches again. I was planning on going to my gym, Planet Fitness, which has facilities all over the United States, and I know that they have one down here. I went to last time, but I didn't know how I was going to make it. I was going to go today, but I just said, I'm just going to keep it low-key and just full steam ahead. I'm just going to stay here and have those guys, my husband and my son, go off and do their thing. So I'm going to do my podcast. I had a podcast that I needed to edit for upload on Friday, and because I do everything on my computer, which is right here, I was able to bring it with me and do it. Also working on a special project, so I'm able to have that upload as well. So I was just chilling in the room, and I said, I feel a lot better. I think I can do this. So the guys are off. They went off to Wildwood today to have some fun, go on some rides, whatever you want to do, Daddy. And little boy, you can go and do it. I'm going to go and focus on having a great vacation no matter what. So that's my lesson for this vacation for myself. And I also want to share with you what I learned, okay? So I knew that I didn't feel right with this antibiotic. I knew that when I started taking it, I started getting really fatigued, but I don't really think of it right away. I just think automatically it's my MS. But people that have multiple sclerosis like myself, or they have other chronic illnesses, you add on another layer of that, a certain drug, a certain environment, like say it's really muggy, and their body has to deal with that new condition, then you're going to get fatigued, and the body cannot fight it. So my body was actually fighting that antibiotic like crazy, and the antibiotic had already gotten rid of that the sinus infection, because I wasn't experiencing that pain that I always had in my head, and I was always having a toothache, like right there. I was thinking it was a toothache, but it was really my sinus. When the ear, nose, and throat doctor looked in there, he saw that there was an infection. So I did get rid of that, but I had to know that I should believe that it was gone. So I took the liberty of discontinuing that medication, and here I am again. Yesterday I was laying in my scooter, and I was not able to even sit up and talk to you. So this is a full 360 that I'm able to do this. I'm very grateful. And yes, I started my day with gratefulness. Every day I start with gratitude. And I highly recommend that you do as well, because there's a lot of things that happen to people in this world. And one of my favorite quotes is, I once cried because I had no shoes till I met a man with no feet. And that was a quote by Helen Keller. And it just teaches you that, even though you think things are bad, they're going to get better, and someone's always got something worse to go through. And yeah, maybe I, might have had to bend in my scooter yesterday, but there are people in their scooters all the time. There are people that don't even have the luxury of having a motorized scooter. So I'm very lucky to be on vacation, to be in a room that has no distraction, right? I'm by myself, and it is beautiful weather outside, and it will still be beautiful after the sun goes down and I can go and enjoy. So in the meantime, I'm going to focus on all the things that I can get done today, like my podcast and doing any kind of editing for my website and cleaning up that I need to, that I don't usually get to do when I'm home. I'm going to go to the gym, maybe not today, but definitely tomorrow before we head home. And that's all. So I really thank you for listening today. I want to tell you one more thing that happened before I forget. Oh, I almost forgot. So my husband told my son that we were going to go wrap it up and head home tomorrow. And even though I was out of it, I still heard what he said to him, and I saw the reaction. He was so upset because he has been hearing at camp that all of his friends are going away, and they don't go that week to camp because they're going on vacation. So he really wanted to have something to say for himself, that he was going away. And we planned this a month ago, and he knew that he had spoken to his friends and they were going to go down here. So if I left, what would happen? I would go home and I would still not have to be in the sun, have to be out of the heat. Summer's not going to go away, right? It's still going to be here, whether I'm down here or further up in New Jersey. I'm still going to have to deal with the elements. So I've learned already how to deal with them. You stay inside and you stay out of the heat. And if you need ice, you take an ice pack. And one thing I have with me always in the summer is ice cold water. And it's even better if there's ice chips in it, ice pieces. When I was at the table at the restaurant last night, I started drinking the water with the ice in it, and I realized how much I needed to cool myself off. I wasn't really taking in as much water as I need to also. So making sure that you're hydrated in the summertime is totally going to help as well. And even in the other seasons, you have to stay hydrated because your body just does need water. You're a living human being and you need to function, even though you're not thinking of all the things your body is doing while you're walking around in this world. It's regulating your body temperature, it's digesting food, it's getting your muscles to do what they have to do to have you walk or whatever it is that you do, so it's really important to stay hydrated. And that's one thing that I forgot when I was so foggy and out of it. I just forgot to drink water and give myself that hydration that I needed. So I wanted to share that with you because it is, that time of year, and we always have to think of somebody that's going to be in an environment that they might not be able to control, but what can they do? You can stay hydrated, you can stay cool, you can stay out of the heat like I should. So that's what I'm doing today. I did turn off the air conditioner, but I will say this. I turned off the air conditioner yesterday, and that also made me very hot because I couldn't wake up to turn it back on. So instead of turning off the air conditioner, I should have just turned it down. But I was just not in the right mind yesterday when I was really fatigued, so that's another thing that I'm going to remember for next time. Make sure you're always cool. Turn down the AC, not turn off, because then it was hard for me to get out of the bed, not being able to self-support and stuff. And usually when that happens, I get scared. Oh my God, this is the way I'm going to be from here on. My MS is really advanced and I'm just in the later stage. No, that's not true at all. And I always remember that. It's not true, Vicky. You're not going to advance that quickly, like overnight. You're doing everything you have to do to take care of yourself, to stay strong and walk another day. Why would that happen? You've been doing so good all this time, right? You get your MRIs, you get checked, you're under the care of an amazing team, so nothing's going to happen. So don't, let things scare you when things just aren't going your way. Just figure out how you can climb up and climb out. So I'm really glad that I told my husband to not go home tomorrow, because you can always stick it out. You can always figure it out. I'm not in a horrible, desolate environment here. I'm in a beautiful resort that's by the beach, and even though I'm not going to be going on the beach, it's just a beautiful, place to be. It's really nice, and my son is happy. He went in the water yesterday, and he would be able to do that at home. So you have to be thankful for everything that you have, and not just shut it down when things don't go your way. Try to figure out a way that you can keep going, and that's what I'm here to do, right? I'm not gonna just say, nope, I had a horrible time, I'm leaving tomorrow. For what? Then what am I gonna do? I'm going to be going home. I'm going to be feeling sorry for myself that I did that to my family. And, I know that my son has a lot to look forward to going down to Wildwood, and I hope he's going to call me later and show me what he's doing. He likes to FaceTime and stuff. So another thing that happened when I'm down here is that I really kept saying over and over that affirmation, I am enough. Because there's times when you feel that what you do is not enough, when you compare yourself to other people that are doing things that you may want to be doing. Like my husband can do things outside with my son that I just cannot do. My mom as well. And some of the moms of my friends, they can go out and take their kids and hold them on their hip and do all kinds of stuff. And I'm just not that mom, But this morning, I saw that I was enough, because what I can do is sit here with this computer and do a lot of stuff with Sean. And I'm teaching him to be, I guess, a programmer, and really think outside the box to make things happen with computers. Kind of, how do you prompt something to happen, to become a reality, right? You have your imagination, and you make it a reality by setting in motion the prompts to make it happen. So for myself, when I practice my manifestation, I've done like 3 or 4 podcasts the last run that I've had on manifestation, and how I've been working to make my life what I want it to be. You really have to set in motion that question. You have to set the intention, what you want to happen. So my son loves to play with ChatGPT. And I've talked about this before. I don't know how far it's gotten, but if you haven't seen it yet, you go to openai.com and you can use it for free. And you can use this artificial intelligence that's set up to give you answers to anything that you want to know about. If you're looking to have it create a story for you, and I could tell you a lot of things it could do, but I want to tell you today what I specifically use it for with him. So he's very creative, and sometimes he doesn't know what to do with that creative energy. So I just kind of like to focus it, give him something good to work on with that. A lot of times he wants to destroy stuff and crush stuff, and I don't know if that's all boys or if it's just him, ADHD, I don't know, but I want to make sure that he's focused on doing good things. So I know that he loves to sit with ChatGPT and direct it to tell him a story about something. So he'll tell him about a character, and ChatGPT will write a story about it. And then he will say, no, I meant this. And he'll give him the rest of the story. I say he. ChatGPT isn't a he. But so that's where I'm going with this. So he has the ability to be creative and has to be nice, because ChatGPT will say, no, I am not going to do that, because that is going to destroy something. So he loves airplanes, and he also loves airplane crashes, not when he's in him or anybody knows, but he finds them exciting, right? And you can find a million airplane crashes stuff on YouTube. I don't even know why I got off on this tangent, but what I'm saying is that he directed ChatGPT to talk about this plane and make it crash. And ChatGPT would not do it. Because there is some directive with ChatGPT that once it thinks that you're doing it for a bad reason, it won't go. So he started to get upset with ChatGPT. I mean, this is a robot, right? Like artificial intelligence. And I looked back into history and I saw that he was like, no, really. And he asked him to do it again. He asked ChatGPT to do it again. He said, no, I cannot do that. Okay, well, how about this? And he said, nope, that's still destructive. He said, how about this? And then he said, do it in like caps, like shouty caps with exclamations. He even uses emojis with it. And he's like, nope, I will not. And okay. And then he wrote what he wanted, and then it got him to do a good story. But what I'm saying is that, you can have a lot of fun with this ChatGPT, and I am enough because I know about that, right? So you may think it's silly, but it gives me a chance to be able to sit in a cool environment and do things that I know with him. I'm a pretty high-tech mom. I'm going to say this. I've got my MacBook set up here. I've got all kinds of cables. My wireless microphone would not work, so I hope this is going to be okay with you, the sound. But I'm going to do a little sound editing after, and also cleaning it up in Buzzsprout where I upload my podcast to. But I even have this. This is a selfie stick. So this selfie stick attaches the camera to it. And Sean has used this before. When we go to the beach later, when the sun is down, I'm going to have him take it, and he can take a nice selfie on the beach with all of us. So it'll be pretty cool. So Mama High Tech, that's what I am. And I have to be grateful that I have that knowledge, that I have the patience for it, because a lot of times high-tech stuff just does not go your way. We know that. You got to submit a ticket and wait for it. I know, because when things have gone wrong at home with the computer, I have to ask my husband to, see if he can take a look at it, and he's busy with something, always busy with something. So, that's the way it is. So I have to figure out how to get a little more high-tech going in my own blood. So sometimes I have to be a little bit self-sufficient and train my son to be as well. So as a chronically empowered mom, I will say this. You have to push through to really be a good example for your child to live in a world where people are not so patient. People want everything now. They want things immediately. And I don't know how much more immediately you can get from an 8-year-old boy that doesn't really know everything. He wants it now, and he wants it yesterday, and that's it. So if I can't deliver, joke's on me. So I am enough, and I am very happy that I got to record this for you. It might not be as long as my other podcasts, but I think I've said what I needed to today, that I had this bad reaction to my antibiotic. I stopped the antibiotic. Luckily, I am over my sinus infection, so I was good to go to be off the medication and be able to sit up today. Right? I sent the husband and the son off out in the sun to the boardwalk in Wildwood to go on some crazy rides today, whatever they want to do. And I did find a place in advance to send him to take him for bubble tea. Did you ever try bubble tea? It's pretty good. It's pretty fun. Not everybody likes the bubble tea. It's kind of hit or miss. If you don't like those tapioca balls, and they have some popping balls. They have all kind of. It's just a fun thing. Kids love it. So I made sure, because that's what he's familiar with at home, that he goes and tries it there. And he loves to do the Google reviews. So Google reviews, he loves to take photos with the phone. He loves the food photography, and he knows all about flipping the camera around to make sure he gets a good shot. I'm pretty badass. I will say that. I like to teach him what I know, and we can learn together. If I don't know something, I'm not shy about that either. So I learn things from him too. He teaches me. So anyway, I hope you have a great day, and thank you for listening. and I'm going to go chillax on my vacation. Over and out. Take care.